Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Style Revival, the series where I pull inspiration from historical fashion and beauty trends and create a modern day wearable head-to-toe look. Today I'm going to be reviving the Tudor era. So the Tudor era was much requested and you guys gave me quite a challenge with this one because Tudor and kind of Elizabethan fashion was so different from what we wear nowadays and pretty hard to kind of incorporate into a modern look, but I tried my best, so that is what we're going to do today. So the Tudor era spans a little bit over the 16th century, so it is quite a long time ago. And that also puts it in the middle of the Renaissance. Now, the Renaissance is the period where we came out of the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages. So I have done a video on the Italian Renaissance previously, kind of a style revival video, but today's video is going to be focused on Renaissance England. So the Tudor era was the period in which obviously the Tudor family reigned over England, and I think most notably King Henry and his 6 wives. Of course, it's quite a famous story that speaks to the imagination. There are so many movies and TV shows and books written about him and his wives, and of course Queen Elizabeth, his daughter, who is the namesake of the Elizabethan era, which is kind of the end of the Tudor period. So fashion in this time was very typically Renaissance. It was so out there, so over the top, all about showing how rich you were and how much money you had and what kind of beautiful, lavish, embellished clothes you could afford. So especially within the royal family, we see a lot of very expensive luxury materials being used, gold kind of threaded into the fabrics, beautiful decorations on the fabrics as well, and loads of layers. So for the ladies' fashion, the silhouette was quite clear. Ladies wore this very straight type of corset or bodice that created pretty much a flat surface across the whole body, and then they had a very distinct hourglass shape with a skirt that was wide at the bottom, a little bit more narrow at the top. One of the most distinct things about Tudor era ladies fashion is the square neckline. So you had a very flat top on the neckline and then the sleeves attached in very kind of straight stern shapes. And in the sleeves you see some variation, but overall the most popular shape or the most seen shape was that of a very poofy sleeve with a wide sleeve over top. And looking at an outfit, you can usually see multiple layers of sleeve. So as far as colors went for fashion in the Tudor period, you see a lot of very kind of rich colors. So obviously dark red, or just red in general, was a very popular color, and gold of course. But oranges and browns were also worn a lot, and sometimes even blue and green. So as always, I'm going to leave the fashion portion to the end of the video, and I'm going to start with the beauty trends and what I'm going to kind of pull from those. Now, Elizabethan or kind of Tudor style beauty is very different from what we find beautiful and attractive nowadays. I have talked about this in kind of historical beauty videos before, but ladies in this time period actually really adored the look of a very high forehead. So they would actually pluck their hair to create as high a forehead as possible and wide as well. And of course, as pale a skin as possible. This was the biggest trend, to have an extremely pale skin, and women went to great lengths to achieve it. Sometimes they would bleed themselves to kind of, you know, get a paler look or make themselves sick in different ways. Or they went for a more simple solution, which was to apply lead paint. Lead paint was used in several periods throughout history, and it was an extremely dangerous and toxic chemical that they put on their skin. It did produce a beautiful white color, but it also poisoned them slowly, and many women died from it. So yeah, not a very good idea. I am going to try and also make my skin look a little bit lighter today. But I'm not going to use a lead paint, I'm just going to use a foundation. Actually just my regular foundation, the color that I always use. Of course we're trying to pull this into a modern kind of wearable look for nowadays. So I'm just going to apply a foundation all over to make sure that I do have beautiful kind of flawless skin. I am going to make it a little bit lighter though by taking a concealer that is a couple of shades lighter than my natural skin color. And I'm going to apply this on all the points of my face that I can highlight. So first of all underneath my eyes, to also just cover up my dark circles, then on the bridge of my nose and on my chin and on my forehead, and not just the center of my forehead but also on the top of my forehead. And this is going to create the appearance of a little bit of a larger forehead, not to the point where it's ridiculous, but you know, just highlighting it. a little bit. Now don't put away that concealer just yet, because the next step is I am going to cover up my eyebrows just a little bit, just make them a little bit lighter. In the Tudor era, eyebrows were not very in fashion. They were actually plucked, sometimes entirely plucked out and just drawn in anew. So to get the feeling of the Tudor era look, you want your eyebrows to be as unnoticeable as possible. So I am going to take a little bit of concealer, just put it on a little spoolie and then run that spoolie through my eyebrows. And that is going to make them just a little bit lighter than my eyebrows naturally are, while also coming them into shape. And I'm going to make sure to comb them so that they're as thin as I can get them. So I'm going to comb the tops of my eyebrows downwards and then the bottoms upwards to create a brow that is as visually thin as possible. And then I'm moving on to my cheek and lip color, and I'm going to use a red lipstick for this. Ladies in the Tudor era used a little bit of red paint to paint their cheeks and lips with, and it was actually quite a bright dark red. It was definitely noticeable, even though, especially in the earlier kind of Tudor era, makeup wasn't really supposed to be worn, but definitely towards the end, like in the Elizabethan era, women went all out. It is said that Queen Elizabeth had literally just a second face painted on her. So don't be afraid to apply a little bit of red on your cheeks and lips. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this red lipstick with my fingers and apply it on my cheeks and blend it out really well. And then I'm also going to apply this on my lips, but I am going to use my finger because I don't want this to look too much like a modern red lipstick. And that is actually it for the makeup. So moving on to the hair. Now ladies in this Renaissance period were actually supposed to cover up their hair, and they wore different types of kind of head dresses and covers. So you wouldn't really have seen their hair or a particular hairstyle. So I am going to try and kind of imitate the look of a French hood, which would have been one of those typical like headpieces that you know from the Tudor period. I'm going to try and kind of imitate that feeling without actually wearing a French hood. So I'm going to start by splitting my hair down the center to create a center parting. And I'm going to clip one of the sides away for now while I work on the other side. And here I am going to create another parting. And now all of this hair I am going to actually backcomb. I'm going to try and backcomb the roots so that they stand up nicely, create a little bit of volume. And when I have backcombed them, I'm going to take all of this hair, smooth the outside, and kind of give it a little twist backwards to create this poofy poof on the side. And I'm just going to pin this down to my head with a bobby pin. And this is that very typical kind of Elizabethan shape that you often see in this period, just without the curls, for a little bit more of a modern look. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, just again section off the hair, backcomb it at the roots, and then twist it a little bit to create this nice poof, pin it to the head. And then I'm going to blast this with a little bit of hairspray. I need this especially because my bangs will fall out if I don't spray it, but it also just helps to hold the hairstyle. So then the last step is to add a headband, and I'm using a nice big headband that is even a little bit of a golden color to again get that Tudor feeling, but this also will just give the impression of, you know, wearing some type of headdress even though it's not a full French hood. So a French hood would have been kind of fully covered in the back as well. There would have been a piece of fabric covering the back of the hair, but that wouldn't look modern at all actually. So I'm just going to leave my hair as it is, just straight, and I'm going to be sure that it is pulled over my shoulders at all times, and that is going to give actually a very similar look to what the back piece of the French hood would have looked like. So there's the hair done as well. Now for the outfit, I kind of struggle with this. I'm going to be honest here. I found it pretty hard to create something that had the feeling of a Tudor outfit while still being wearable enough for modern day wear. But this can just be because the Tudor style is way out of my kind of personal style as well. It is so out there. Well, I tend to dress pretty minimal. Yeah, this is kind of what I arrived at in the end. So the most important thing for me is to have something that has a rather large sleeve. So preferably a big kind of open sleeve, but I didn't have anything like that in my closet. So I did find this little white blouse that is a puffy sleeve, and it works pretty well, I think. So I'm just wearing that, and then I decided to wear this furry vest over top. First of all, because it is the right color. It is a beautiful deep rich red that is so typical of the Tudor era, and it also is just very flamboyant, and I think that kind of helps to give the Tudor Renaissance-ish feeling. Plus it helps kind of accentuate the square shape of my blouse. And I'm going to be honest here, this is a pretty square neckline blouse already, but I did end up pinning the sides right here to my bra straps to create an even straighter line. So little trick there to really create that square shape, because that is hard to find in stores nowadays. It's not a very modern neck shape right now. So then I decided to go with a pair of burgundy pants as well, and this is going to kind of create the look of it being one set of clothing. Obviously in the Renaissance they would have worn a dress. If you think this is a little bit too much, which I can completely understand, then feel free to just wear jeans or a skirt or whatever you have available to you. For the shoes, in the Renaissance they would have worn something very similar to this, just with a square nose, but again that is pretty hard to find in stores nowadays, so a shoe like this, just pretty simple, works well. And now the most important thing, I think, is to accessorize heavily. So wear a load of jewelry, stack on the necklaces, stack on the rings, bracelets, whatever. You want this to look just very opulent and very out there. Extravagance is the word. So that is my modern head-to-toe Tudor Elizabethan inspired look. So I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Style Revival, guys. If there is any period in history that you would really like me to do an episode of, then please feel free to leave a comment and I will look through and pick one out for next time. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for loads more historical beauty videos. If you would like to support me on Patreon, I will have a link in the description box below. Thank you so much. There will be another video here that you may also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!